Hi, I'm Kate Fox, and welcome to Sometimes Adversity Isn't. Today we have a very special guest, a friend of mine and someone who I consider a hero. I tell you all the time how very lucky I have been in my life. Well, let me tell you, this woman is just, she blows me away with her experience and with what she does day to day. This is my guest, Elsie. Elsie, how do people know you as?
People on Facebook know me as Elsie Macabre because of all the horror stuff that I love. But for those who are not into the horror stuff, it would be Elsie Martinez-Ginsberg.
That's a mouthful.
That's what somebody else said.
And so, I asked you to come today because we all know I am cancer-free. Full out.
Awesome.
And you, number one, I want you to talk about the event you have coming up, but I'd like you to share a little bit of your story because as of today, you are not.
Right. I haven't been cancer-free, I guess technically, since January of 2014 because I was diagnosed again with a second occurrence in January, and then at that point, breast cancer, stage 2. And mind you, this was the second time, because the first time was, I believe, in 2006,
Wow.
Stage 2 as well, in the right breast.
And you were a baby then. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of all the numbers. Yeah, I was 33, I think.
Wow.
And it was rough because, mind you, you're talking almost 10 years ago at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And even 10 years ago, we know so much more today than we knew back then. So when I started going to the doctors and telling them, something is wrong. Well, what's wrong, Elsie? Well, I think I feel what seems to be a lemon rolling in my armpit. And they said, well, it's can't be anything. And I said, well, it's to the point where I can't even carry my pocketbook on my shoulder anymore. It hurts that much. So, what happened was they kept prolonging the checkup and kept saying, well, it can't be breast cancer because you're far too young. That's the famous line. You're far too young. I don't think they're using it as much today because that's so no longer the case. But that was my case. So where, let's say, for example, I started complaining about it in February, I don't remember, it took 3 months before they actually said, you know what, we need to do a biopsy on you because this is not making any sense. And basically, they did the aspiration, all that stuff, and nothing was coming up, breast cancer. It wasn't until the actual biopsy that was done. And at that point, the breast cancer was already in my lymph nodes.
Wow. And on that note, I hate to stop right here, but we're going to take a break and we will be right back and continue with Elsie's story.
Hi, I'm Tim Stead. I'm from Star Communications. We're a marketing support company. And if you need help with your next marketing project, please call 273-1900. Or you can go to our website, starcommunications.us.
And we're back. And Elsie, tell us a little more about your story, please.
Well, so the breast cancer had gone into my lymph nodes back in 2006. So at that point, imagine, here I am in my early 30s, and I'm told you need to have a bilateral radical mastectomy. And so essentially what that meant was removing both my breasts plus the lymph nodes in my right side because they were already there. So that was incredibly overwhelming because I admit that I was that Chiquita who, wore the tight dresses and my hair was down to my behind and 118 pounds and I was a hot mamita walking all over the place, and that's just what it was. And plus, I was in the entertainment business. I sang. I'm not claiming that I was a model. I'm only 5'2". I was not a model. But I just loved being in front of cameras, in front of whatever. So it was devastating, to say the least. we went through the surgery. I went through the chemo. I lost my hair, so I was Sinead O'Connor for a while. And at first it was tough, but then I dealt with it. It was no big deal. Then I got better, you know. I was in remission. That wonderful word, remission. And then years, you know, passed by. And here's the thing. Here's the thing, Kate. Once we are in remission, we drop, many of us, I shouldn't say all of us, many of us, including me, we drop the ball.
Yeah.
Because we're in remission. We're comfortable. We're free of cancer.
Healthy.
We're healthy. We're going to live to 83. And the other piece of it, okay, so we have to take ownership of the decisions we're making. Yes. Once we are in remission. But the other flip side to this is that doctors are not telling us everything they need to tell us. So they get us to the point of remission and then kind of have us walking out that front door feeling like you're going to be fine. Chances of it coming back are pretty blah, 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 blah. Well, as it turns out, you know, I was very high risk of it coming back. You know, first of all, when you're stage 2, stage 1, whatever you want to call it, even if you haven't had a bilateral mastectomy, what a lot of women don't know is just because you had a bilateral mastectomy does not mean that you can't get breast cancer, because you still actually do have breast tissue there. There's no such thing as a 100% mastectomy. So the cancer, if you even have the smidge of breast tissue, it's going to find a way. And so, you know, here I am thinking, I removed my breasts, I'm fine. I had reconstructive surgery, I had beautiful cleavage again, and yada, da, 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 da. So of course I felt like, okay, maybe when my clothes were off, I saw the scars and thought, But, you know, as far as I was concerned, when I had a low-cut dress, I was good to go. I'm like, okay. So I got a little sloppy, and what I mean by that is I could have eaten healthier, I should have rested more, I should have taken more serious, and that wasn't the case. So in 2014, in January, when I was doing my Macabre Fair Film Festival, I remember that I was doing the event, and I remember feeling very fatigued, but I was already starting to feel fatigued like a good 30 days prior. So and because I was paying attention to my body at that point, because it was very noticeable, I thought, wow, something's wrong. So it turned out that as soon as I finished the Macabre Fair Film Festival, I went back to the doctor, they did an ultrasound, then they did an MRI, and voila, I lit up again. I lit up right in the same spot as it originally was in 2006. Wow. So I was then told, you need to have another bilateral mastectomy. And that's when I thought, like, I didn't even know you could do this. Right. So at that point, I learned that you can have more than one bilateral mastectomy at that point, and also that I should have been told about a lot of different things, because from my BRCA testing, how I tested had a lot to do with my future, and so many other things. So I was behind the 8 ball way long ago, but I didn't know this. So had my bilateral mastectomy, did my chemo, did the radiation after. So I finished my chemo in October of 2014. Okay. Finished my radiation in April of 2015. Okay. And then I get hit with the shingles. Who gets the shingles in the 40s? You know? So here I am now, shingles, and then I'm starting to notice my vision is going. I get hit with the shingles again a month later. Now I'm really freaking out. No one seems to know what's going on. No one does a blood test on me to see my tumor markers have gone through the roof. And then I get another attack, but this time is in the front, right in my tumor area. But now I'm thinking this is the shingles too, and it wasn't. At that point, the cancer had already gotten into my bones, my liver, and my skin, and I had gone metastatic. Wow. And so that's the rage that I had going on in the front of my chest, where I thought it was shingles. It wasn't.
And you know what? I hate to stop you right here. We're going to stop for one more break, because what I'd like to do is come back and have you talk about what you're doing now to educate young women who don't think this is ever a possibility for themselves. And we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Tim Stead. I'm from Star Communications. We're a marketing support company. And if you need help with your next marketing project, please call 273-1900 or you can go to our website, starcommunications.us.
Okay, thank you for coming back. And now, Elsie, where are you now and what are you doing this just blows me away. I just got chills because I remember when you first told me about it. But I want to know what you are doing now to educate young women who think, I'm too young, it'll never happen to me.
Well, at this point of the game, I'm doing chemo again.
Okay.
I know I don't look like a chemo patient because your vision of a chemo patient is bald, no eyebrows, this, that, but I'm getting there. My hair is thinning out because I'm taking carboplatinum, I'm taking Gemzar. And for people who don't know what these medicines are, instead of me just saying I'm taking chemo, I'm specifically giving you names because look it up and see what this really is.
I have no idea, just so you know.
Yeah, I
have no idea.
It's carboplatinum is rough. And I do it, so far I've been doing it every week, smaller doses, but every week because we're trying to hit it hard because it's now systematically that we're trying to hit the tumors. I have over a dozen tumors in my liver, and I have approximately, I think it's about 10 tumors throughout my vertebrae and all that. Wow. So again, this is what cancer looks like. It doesn't look like cancer, at least I hope it doesn't.
Not at
but
all.
Anyway, so I'm doing that, and I'm doing radiation at the same time. So it's a double whammy, and it's hard. But there's a lot of young women there's a lot of women, period.
Period. You're right. Absolutely.
Who believe
our age.
Exactly.
My age. I'm 48. And
so
they don't get it.
We think like it's not going to happen, or they had stage 1 and it's not going to come back.
Or stage 0.
Or stage 0. 30% chance. Once you've had breast cancer, 30% chance is coming back. So I figured, you know what? I'm trying to create an event. We've come up with Immortal Con, which is an anime fantasy convention happening on October 3rd, over at the Clarion Hotel in Ronkonkoma. And we just wanted to create an environment that's fun while we're sneaking in and doing the soft sell of what cancer is and how it can hit us all. So, nobody wants to go to a cancer convention, at least not young people especially.
I don't want to go to a cancer convention.
Right? It's a little gloomy, I know. So we figured, you know what? Okay, I get it because I don't want to go to a cancer convention either. But I'll go to an anime one or a science fiction one or whatever, and then we just figured, during the panels, we'll throw in something that kind of ties in with that. And thank goodness we've been fortunate to have Linda Billy from the Carol Baldwin Breast Cancer Center over at Stony Brook University who's stepping in. We've got Mondays at Racine's who are going to be offering...
ladies.
They're going to be shaving heads. So anybody who wants to, shave their hair at the event, they're welcome to do that. And so, that's basically what it is. Just trying to create an event that people can enjoy while we, reach out to people. And I'm hoping that I'm hoping we can get the ears. And we have to do this and hopefully also raise money so that we can give money directly to the patients
right.
For, doctor's visits and everything. And then there's also an organization called Metaviver. I think it's metaviver.org that a wonderful friend of mine named Beth Fairchild made me aware of, and apparently the money that they raise goes directly to metastatic research because
wow.
it is so severely underfunded. And now being that person, you don't get it until you're in those shoes. I'm in those shoes. Yeah. So I'm hoping that we raise even a few bucks so that we can give it to them.
Okay. So if anyone wants to find out information about Immortal Con,
ImmortalCon.com. Just go right to the website or Facebook.
You have a nice Facebook page, I have to say.
Thank you.
I think you have some very interesting panelists. And
absolutely.
I am shameless. I'm sorry. I can't help it. But I'm excited about this. And you have some really great people going. And you know what? You are a hero of mine.
Thank you.
And I just want to say thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me here. And just remember, I'm not a survivor. I'm not a warrior. I'm just someone faced with a very tough journey that I gather strength from everyone to continue on this path and beat the odds if I can, because that's what it is. So hopefully I'll be here next year also talking about Immortal Con.
Absolutely. And I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm speechless right now. I'm a big fan of this lady, and I just hope you found some information and inspiration. And if you can, come on down to the Immortal Con on October 3rd at the Clarion Hotel
At the Clarion.
in Ronkonkoma. Thank you, and join us next time for Sometimes Adversity Isn't.